The angry vet rampages over Texas anti-cop watch bill. Sits in bed in Maryland and rages at the world about a bill that will have no impact on him. Chille DeCastro goes full boomer. Doesn't know when he's live and streaming. Gets tech support on air. Still no updates on game release. Plus, Lane Myers is going back to court today. Will reporter Judy's sanity survive another day in court with the real American American-ican? I'm your humble newsreader, Pants. You're a blueberry mango smoothie of love, and we're about to get frigid to some auditing insanity. With the Lane Myers experience set to return to YouTube Monday afternoon, our intrepid reporter Judy picked up the disposition report filed for the second set of charges Myers is facing as we move closer to trial. A disposition report is essentially a status update, and the one that appeared on Arizona's e-access portal was linked to the second set of charges in the Myers case, those that had been previously handled by William Parvin. On Friday night's live stream, our reporter read from the disposition and indicated that one of the felony charges had not been filed. Without seeing the document ourselves, we speculated on air that one of the charges had been dropped, and that Myers was now facing 3 misdemeanors and 2 felonies from the second set of charges. Upon seeing the document for ourselves, it turned out that Myers is still facing 3 felonies and 3 misdemeanor charges. A 4th felony charge for aggravated harassment is listed on the disposition with a NF, or not filed status. As the charge was never filed, the status quo has been maintained, and we apologize if our speculation caused any confusion. The disposition report may have been issued as a procedural matter, since Myers has been granted pro se status, and his former attorney and advisory attorney Parvin has been replaced by Mark the Shark Resnick, who is now advisory attorney for Myers. Both sets of charges have been combined into a single trial, and Monday's hearing was originally set to determine a trial date and go over any outstanding motions that Myers promised to file at the previous hearing. Myers has gone radio silent and has not filed any motions that have appeared online before the hearing. Despite threatening that he would file several motions demanding the judge be replaced in the case and other demands directed at the prosecution, no such motions have been filed. Likewise, Myers, supporting YouTube channels such as The Reluctant Prophet and Josh Gray's This Is a Public Service channel, have not featured new Myers-related content in over a week. With a lack of news and coverage of Myers, his fundraising efforts have also dried up. His once world-dominating Give, Send, Go account has not had a donation in over a week. Clash with Mao again took Saturday with a take of $110 and has surpassed Myers' leaderboard status for the year. With fans apparently moving on, those who have been subjected to abuse and threats by Myers have focused on details of some of his previous threats and accusations against them. Myers' accounts of Christopher Direct D. Ruff orchestrating an assassination attempt at Myers' property was recently proven to be false, with the release of the police report from the March 10th, 2025 incident. Nearly all of Myers' claims from 2 live streams over the 24-hour period following the rock-throwing incident have been debunked. Likewise, questions remain over his wife/girlfriend's statement that she filed a protective order against Ruff, as no records of said protective order have been made public since Ruff was never served with the order. With Myers set to return to court Monday afternoon, our intrepid reporter, Judy, will be on hand for the hearing. Our coverage will begin on Monday with live audio from the Pima County courtroom, followed by Judy's notes from the trial at 8 p.m. Eastern. It was business as usual for Jose Chille DeCastro during his Friday and Saturday live streams, which featured a combination of pleading for trifold sales, unbridled arrogance, dubious viewership numbers, and, of course, technical issues, with the OBS software that literally stopped one of the 2 live streams in its tracks while DeCastro called for help. Friday's live stream saw the diminutive YouTuber achieve a personal best, as his viewership peaked at 1,113 people for about 10 seconds, before falling back to 700 or so individuals watching. It would retreat to the mid-400s for most of the show, with flashes of greatness here and there as the vertically formatted algorithm worked its magic. DeCastro focused on the evils of police dogs by using highly cropped YouTube videos to supplement a steady stream of violent TikTok videos. He then, bizarrely, got into a debate with someone claiming to be a real veterinarian over if pup cups were harmful to dogs. The hairline-challenged YouTuber claimed that all dairy products were bad for dogs, and that owners were inadvertently poisoning their dogs with such cups. He mocked those who disagreed with him in his side chat until someone identifying himself as a veterinarian spoke up and disagreed with DeCastro. DeCastro would backtrack on the subject, saying he was joking, but only after letting his ego out for a bit at those in his side chat who disagreed with him. In new claims, DeCastro repeated an old claim that he was a writer for the Photography is Not a Crime, or PINAC, organization, this time adding that he was a ghostwriter for author Carlos Miller in 2012. He said that he was unpaid for his efforts, but that a significant amount of his Miller's credited work was that of DeCastro's. Noticing his high numbers, DeCastro said that tens of thousands of people were rolling through his live streams as they were simulcast on several platforms. He then began a giveaway of 5 free trifolds that would be funded with the purchase of 5 trifolds from his online shop. DeCastro eventually played a portion of the first episode of his American Patriot 40-part miniseries, which detailed his totally true adventures in Ironton, Ohio in 2022. He promised that each episode was true to life, even though it was previously revealed that the phone calls to his mother that start every episode were staged as a framing device. As he was closing up the live stream for the night, he encouraged his fans to perform audits, and if police asked them what they were doing, they were to say that they were stress testing our First Amendment right to be press in public. Saturday's live stream, a 4.5 hour slog through more anti-police videos, saw the YouTuber have technical difficulties to start the show. He could not get the OBS software to do what he wanted and complained loudly that every time he closed and reopened the OBS software, something new would go wrong. DeCastro started the stream mentioning that he'd only had 4.5 hours of sleep, then wondered if he was actually online as he couldn't tell. He then lost his green screen and filters, revealing fresh lines on his face and a pockmarked face that showed the YouTuber looking older than his true age. He called a friend and demanded help with OBS, and the pair eventually got DeCastro to the point where he could show videos and see himself on screen at the same time. After 20 minutes or so, he started the show to the delight of his audience. The show itself was standard fare, going on for 4.5 hours with DeCastro ranting against police and selling trifolds, or attempting to. He revealed that he was torn, as there were so many people who donated to his GoFundMe campaigns last year and helped him financially while he was in jail, that he felt he needed to give back to his community. DeCastro did get sidetracked, as he said he had put so many into envelopes until he eventually realized he couldn't afford to send all of them out. At that point, he said he sent out emails to various customers demanding that they pitch in $5 at a time to help fund sending trifolds to others. Updating his newly forgotten Constitution headquarters board game, he said that his friend would be helping him hang posters tomorrow, and that he should have the prototype cards on Monday. DeCastro is expected to go live again this afternoon. Controversial YouTuber Kevin the Angry Vet Soper went live on Sunday night with his reaction to Texas's plans to turn the crime of interference in a crime scene from a misdemeanor offense to a felony offense. House Bill 3565 seeks to change the penalty for interference with official duties from a Class B misdemeanor with a maximum penalty of 180 days in jail and a $2,000 fine to a state jail felony with a maximum penalty of 2 years in jail and a $10,000 fine. The bill would make no changes to the existing law, which currently allows officers to direct people to stand up to 30 feet away from the area they're working in. Instead, it simply increases the penalty from a misdemeanor to a felony. HB 3565, which has already passed Texas's State House, is an apparent reaction to the increased pressure put on police in Tarrant County, Texas, by cop watchers and First Amendment auditors such as Harvey Freebird, Manuel Mata, and Carolina in Fort Worth. In statements made during the public hearing, Soper was watching from his comfortable bed in Maryland. Those in support of the bill said that increased activity by cop watchers and auditors have made it more difficult to conduct routine traffic stops. Supporters of the bill also pointed out that a misdemeanor offense is not strong enough to deter the behavior of those who would interfere with traffic stops, as YouTube monetization plays a big role in why cop watchers seem to be filming police. A video ending in an arrest brings in hundreds of thousands of views and a huge windfall for the person who was arrested. Recutting the video and re-releasing the video as YouTube remixes and shorts brings in even more money, and the increased exposure rewards them for breaking the law. Some auditors have made it clear to police that they were willing to go to jail on a misdemeanor offense in order to profit from the arrest. Most recently, Carolina in Fort Worth blatantly strung up a series of arrests earlier in the year while out on bond for a misdemeanor conviction for interference. Soper stopped the video at this point, yelling at his live audience that the interference is needed because those that cop watch prevent dirty cops from abusing the public. He then complained that the existing law's instructions to stand 30 feet away is unfair because you can't hear anything from that far away. However, YouTuber Soper agreed that the auditors and cop watchers have made statements that the arrest would be worth it, as they would profit off the video of their arrests with little consequence. Critics of Soper noted that YouTuber Carolina in Fort Worth must stay 25 feet away from police while filming under her current bond conditions. She has had no problems picking up audio from the police or stopping bad cops from carrying out their duties. Soper went on to criticize the Tarrant County auditors for not making statements at the meeting he was watching. He wondered aloud if there was a single governor of Texas, as the state was so big, and asked his fans to redress their grievances by brigading the governor's office. The YouTuber then attacked First Amendment auditors, much like Chille's Angels, Thomas Let's OTVO Prowitzky and Matthew Brick Jonesy Jones, who go on snipe hunts in seeking signed oaths of office rather than actively protesting changes to laws that would make their lives more difficult. He further criticized YouTube lawyers and activists who file lawsuits that attack courts and fail to state claims. He said that telling the court to stick it up their butt in an unfriendly manner would never produce the results they were seeking. Soper himself failed to take the opportunity to promote his own ongoing haircutting campaign, which seeks up to $15,000 to cut his hair as part of a Locks of Love donation. He was later joined on panel by someone named Nikki, who briefly promoted the campaign. Despite seeking a huge windfall of his own if the campaign is successful, Soper has done little to promote the campaign. Most recently, openly laughing on live streams in celebration of the failure of the first round of funding for the Locks of Love campaign. YouTuber Clash with Bow took Sunday with another victory, with $150 in donations to his legal defense fund. Soper's The Servicemen and Citizens for American Rights Society, or SCARS, GoFundMe campaign has yet to see a donation this year. We need your help. Both ReallyCoolSite.org's daily newspaper and our daily newscasts are funded by your continuing donations and what we make from our YouTube AdSense revenue each month. If you'd like to contribute to help us keep the lights on, eating, feeding the cats, defending ourselves from lawsuit threats, and writing news stories to feature on both the newspaper and newscast each day, you can do so via a donation to our PayPal, Cash App, or GoFundMe accounts. If you can't afford to contribute, please watch our videos from beginning to end, like, share, subscribe, and comment. You can help by doing next to nothing, and we thank you in advance for pitching in.